What's up, everybody? It's just about update time. So Raven has put out the Season 4 patch notes. By the time you're seeing this video, the update will be just about to come out. It's just after 10 o'clock Eastern here. So I got a little less than 2 hours. So by the time I film this, get this up, it'll be 11 to 11:30, and it'll be just about time to start updating and dropping in. So we'll go ahead and quick get into these patch notes. Incoming. This new season of free content includes 5 multiplayer maps, 5 new weapons, new points of interest in Verdansk, and new quests and Outbreak that set the stage for free zombies experience during the season. Welcome to Season 4. June 16th update, quick playlist update. They're adding BR Resurgence mini trios in Verdansk and Verdansk plunder quads. They're keeping Verdansk, they're removing plunder blood money quads and Resurgence duos from Rebirth Island, and then they're keeping Resurgence quads. I really like the Resurgence mini trios, so I'll be playing that mode. I don't really care what they do with plunder, honestly, and I don't care, honestly, about them getting rid of Resurgence duos. If I play Rebirth Island, Resurgence quads is the best mode. So we're going to be kicking off the season with the Groundfall event. Groundfall, a limited time event. Find and secure the new Satlink stations to triangulate the location of a falling satellite in Verdansk. Loot the fallen satellites to score exclusive loot and cash rewards during the game. The objectives for this event will reward you with items such as emblems, calling cards, a satellite weapon charm, as well as some XP. Complete all 3 challenges from either Cold War or Warzone, and you'll receive an epic secondary blueprint. Alright, so it looks like they're going to make those pretty easy to complete, unlike the action heroes where you had, I think it was 6 for each. It looks like you can do either or and get the only epic secondary weapon blueprint. So that's good for people who don't want to grind it too much, but want the rewards. Verdansk Resurgence Mini, a bite-sized FPS survival experience in addition to the standard Rebirth Island Resurgence rules, no Gulag, extreme clarity on enemy positions when it pings the map, upon eliminations of a squad member, a Resurgence timer, and special supply boxes. This new playlist features lobby sizes of up to 45 operators depending on the squad size. The first circle is skipped, games are shorter in length on average, and there is a higher tier loot compared to traditional BR. Battle Pass. Players can now spend COD points to gift the Black Ops Cold War content to friends, including the Battle Pass, and store bundles via the Call of Duty companion app and website. 2-factor authentication is required. 100 tiers of brand new Black Ops Cold War content, including new operator skins, weapons, blueprints, wrist accessories, so watches, weapon charms, COD points, and more. Tier 0, you get the new Operator Jackal. Tier 5, you get the Monochrome Legendary AK-47 blueprint. Tier 21, Regal Scepter Legendary Type 63 blueprint. I don't know why they keep putting blueprints out for this. Nobody uses the Type 63. If you still use one of those 2 rifles, you use the DMR. Type 40, Night Kit Song Operator Skin. Tier 42, Serpent Idol Legendary Bullfrog Blueprint. I like that. Tier 50, Boarding Party Adler Operator Skin. I think that was like the roughed up pilot. Tier 55, Ancient Scarab Legendary KSP 45 Blueprint. Hopefully down in these patch notes there's some weapon changes, including a buff to the KSP. Tier 76, Regal Sword Legendary Mac 10 Blueprint. I don't care that much about the Mac 10. Tier 81, Penumbra Carbon Legendary AK-74U Blueprint. That's good. That gun's been picking up recently. Tier 85, Ancient Spear Legendary Sniper Rifle Charlie Blueprint. So that's that M82 blueprint. Don't know why they're putting out blueprints for that gun that nobody uses. Tier 89, Punk Rock Legendary Howard 77 Blueprint. Wrong shotgun. No one uses that one. Tier 90, Lioness Zayna Operator Skin. Tier 95, High Stakes Ultra Rarity MG82 Blueprint. So that's the new LMG. And then Tier 100, Iridescent Reactive Jackal Operator Skin. I love the look of that skin from what I've seen so far. Forgotten Oasis Legendary C58 Blueprint. So that's the new AR that I'm assuming is like a Cold War Amax. Takeoff Dirt Bike Vehicle Skin and the Season 4 emblem. Changes to the map. Red doors have appeared in Verdansk. Believe that's going to be a new fast travel system. Downtown Tower is now under new management. New Gulag hijacked. Here's the image preview of the Gulag we get here. In the developer talk, we also saw a little bit of it. Hopefully it's not too campy. I don't think you'll be able to camp these corners that well, especially if someone pushes up the middle. And this just looks about waist high, so I'm hoping it's a lot less campy. I'm sure people will camp these little corners here, though. New satellite crash POIs added. There's one in farmland. Right in the middle of some poor farmer's crops is one crashed satellite. Its fuselage split into multiple parts amid the field. I think in the trailer that was what we saw the chopper shooting at. Block 18. Closer to the one sleepy village near the salt mines lies another downed satellite. I'm trying to think of exactly what house. That might be like what some people call Rivertown. Its location leaves it open to the operators parachuting down from the radar array. So yeah, I think that's over by like Rivertown is what some people call it. Block 16. Deep within the Gora riverbed near Airport Control Tower, a more intact satellite sits ready to be explored. And Gora Bridge. Spanning the Gora River between downtown Fire Station 12 and Promenade Fairgrounds, this bridge saw a direct impact from the down satellite, taking a chunk out of its brickwork. So I guess it's just one of the bridges that cross, I guess, from like Fairgrounds over to where that firehouse is in southwest downtown, just below Hospital. General, add 120 Hz support for PS5. Down players who disconnect will now provide kill credit and drop loot. This includes players who disconnect during a finishing move. It's good. I mean, I know all of us have been there where we quit. Progression challenges. Font size for challenges in the descriptions have been increased. Addition of 8 new LGBTQIA plus pride flag calling cards. Always good to be inclusive. I saw some people complaining, but they can get over it. Nobody has to use it. You don't even have to look at them if you don't want. You don't have to change your calling card. It doesn't matter. Let people feel included. It's a good thing. These 8 cards are available in addition to the existing 6 Pride cards for a total of 14 Pride flags represented in-game Happy Pride Month. As a part of our celebration, we've added 8 new flags for free for all players. Diversity and inclusion are important, and we are excited to expand our in-game representation of LGBTQIA plus identities in honor of Pride Month. Nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. Everyone should feel like they belong to the Call of Duty community. Gameplay, new vehicle, dirt bike. Terror on 2 wheels arrives in Warzone. Ramp up your off-road antics with this extremely maneuverable scrambler scattered across Verdansk and ready to use at the start of a match. Speed, faster than all vehicles including the ATV. Handling, drifts at high speeds, offers finer control at lower speeds, mastery is key. Durability, low, same health as the ATV. Capacity, 2 operators, 1 driver and 1 passenger. Next to no room to stack operators atop it, such as with the 2-passenger ATV. And trophy system placement. Must stand atop the bike to place a trophy system. Can fit 1 on the saddle or on front/rear fenders. So you can sit on a trophy or you can put it on the fenders. Loot that spawns across from Verdansk has been adjusted as follows. The C58 and MG82 can be found in the loot pool, so the new weapons. Combat bow kill streak has been added to the loot pool. I love this thing. As soon as they took it away after the event, I was hoping it would come back. Self-revive spawn rate has been reduced. Thank God. I still don't think it should be ground loot, but they're going to keep it. 1911 starter handgun now requires 3 hits to gain bonus finisher damage instead of 2. This change will increase the number of melee hits needed for this weapon to down an enemy at 200 HP by 1. It's still going to have the same lunge, but at least it doesn't kill us as quick, so maybe you can do something about it. The lunge and the melee of all the guns kills too quick. Snapshot grenade reveal duration increased from 1.25 to 2 seconds. Hit enemies are now also revealed to your squad. This might change people running it. If you run quads or even trios, it's nice you could have 1 person. If you're going to a building of heartbeat to check if people are there. You can use snapshot grenades to see where people are, and then you can use stuns to push. So if your squad's really coordinated in trios or quads, you could have 1 or 2 stunners, 1 heartbeat, and 1 snapshot grenade teammate. Custom mods. Custom mods have been enabled for Black Ops Cold War weapons. Thank God. This will allow you to name and save up to 5 custom weapon builds as blueprints. Thank God. Some thoughts on the Specialist token. We want exciting items like the Specialist token in Warzone. However, the ease and consistency of its acquisition was problematic. Ideally, drop locations are allowed to be chosen dynamically based on several factors like circle location, infill route, and player preference. When we introduce an exclusive, powerful item that can only be obtained in one location, it may have a warping effect on gameplay that can diminish early game strategy. We would also like to ensure there is excitement surrounding opening caches or completing contracts no matter where you are on the map. In order to achieve that, we need to have items that are exceedingly rare but do not have targeted methods of acquisition. We may see the Specialist token again, perhaps sooner than you might think, but it will be rebalanced in such a way that it offers neither weapon perks nor drops on death. The drops on death thing, I love. If you die with it, you die with it. I don't think it should be pick-upable after someone dies with it, and I like that it doesn't add weapon perks anymore, because it just made weapons that were Modern Warfare guns overpowered. If they were going to keep doing the weapon perks, they needed that to Cold War, but I'm good with them taking the weapon perks out. And I'm glad they won't be easy, and it seems like it'll just be in random, probably orange crates or when you complete contracts. And it'll be rare when you complete contracts, like the contracts that get you blueprints. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it drops that blue briefcase. Bug fixes. Fix some instances of dev error related to using the carve. Updating challenges that refer to the quarry to correctly indicate the salt mine. Fixed an issue where a player's down movement speed will remain at a slowed rate after being partially revived by a teammate. Fixed issue with the tactical rifle Charlie, the AUG, causing some operators to have their heads disappear when using tactical equipment. Fixed an issue where the gas closing in voiceover was playing on infill for Resurgence Trios playlist. Fixed an issue where scavenger contracts would sometimes spawn inside the bridge near stadium. Fixed an issue where plunder contracts were not properly showing contract instructions and rewards. Fixed an issue where muzzles on the Pharaoh weapon icon were misaligned. Fixed an issue where players could survive a finishing move if they just started using an Ascender. Fixed an issue where pings on enemies would disappear and no audio would play. Thank God. I was so sick of live pings not working, and it got me killed, it got teammates killed, and it was just annoying. Fixed an issue with the lighting during the infiltration sequence of Rebirth Island. Fixed an issue in corners of one of the buildings of Rebirth Island that caused a sun glare effect when GPUs run at high temperatures. Fixed several missing collision map exploits in Rebirth Island. UI/UX social and more. Friends list now has improved responsiveness. Thank God. I was so sick of you get on, someone's waiting for you to join, or whole squad's waiting for you to join, and your friend list just doesn't load. Added the ability for players to favorite up to 14 operators. Added the ability to filter operators by favorites and sort according to faction. Added the ability for players to preview skins from the customization menu, accessible only for unlocked operators. Added the ability to allow players to play again with team, allowing them to stay connected with players who aren't in their party. That's nice if you play randoms and you meet up with cool people. Weapons. Hopefully I scroll down and I see weapon changes. New weapons. MG82 light machine gun, tier 15. C58 assault rifle, tier 31. Nail gun, it'll be a challenge or a blueprint in the store for launch week, so tonight or by next Thursday. Baseball bat, same thing. OT's 9 submachine gun will be via challenge or blueprint in the middle of the season, and same with the mace melee weapon. Oh, I see an Amax nerf. A Scar buff? Okay, let me read this real quick. In the future patch, we will be making sweeping balance changes to weapons. Let us take a moment to discuss the philosophy behind that decision. At a high level, Warzone is a game about engagements. The more time we allot to mechanical and strategic expression within the engagements, the higher the skill ceiling and the longer our personal journey of mastery. We believe the frequency of these engagements and how we navigate them heavily contribute to the overall level of fun. We want to enable more escapes from impossible situations, moments of finesse, epic outplays, and opportunities to flex exquisite marksmanship. Due to some weapons being far more lethal than others in their class, we feel a reduction to the efficacy of those outliers is necessary. We expect these changes will bring the average time to kill up approximately 60 to 100 milliseconds. These changes will not only increase the overall capacity for skill expression, but should also introduce some weapons into viability that have not yet had a chance to shine. We will be laying the groundwork for the upcoming balance overall with the following adjustments. I am excited to scroll down into this. I love that they're trying to increase the skill gap and make the good players really good. And if you want to be good at this game, you're going to have to work for it. Time to kill coming up is huge. So you actually have a chance if you're getting shot in the back, shot from above, whatever, to make a play and live that scenario out. So let's see. We're seeing Amax nerf, Groza buff, Scar buff, big Groza buff, XM4 buff, Amp 63 buff, think it needed that, Ballistic Knife buff, Street Sweeper big nerf, thank God, M82 buff, Swiss change, Modern Warfare AUG has one of the highest bullet velocities of any SMG, it's just really slow. Bullfrog change, KSP buff, yes, Milano big buff, awesome, and PP Bison buff and DMR buff. Amax upper torso damage multiplier decreased from 1.2 to 1.1. The real strength of the Amax laid in its long range viability and the consistency of its time to kill. While we have made several moves to reduce its power level, the third time is in fact the charm. We love the Amax and we will likely see it return in the future when the massive balance overhaul takes place. Though for now we would like to shake up the long range space and see what rises to top. It's time for the Farah and the Ram to shine. I think the Farah is going to come on strong after this. I think the Amax, especially for really good players, is still going to shred. Still going to be a good gun. You're still going to see it everywhere, but this is just going to increase the diversity. Groza. Minimum damage increased from 18 to 23. Upper torso damage multiplier increased from 1.1 to 1.2. Lower torso damage increased from 1 to 1.1. Maximum damage range decreased by 12%. As a relatively slow-firing, low-damage assault rifle, it is no surprise that the CODWZ has underperformed since its preemptive balance adjustment at the beginning of Season 3. This tune-up should put it in a solid position in short to mid-range mobility-based AR builds. Really good sniper support. Not going to be a long-range AR, but it'll be really good sniper support, hopefully, with these changes. It looks like they've increased the damages a lot and then shortened the range a little bit, so it's going to be sniper support. Assault Rifle Golf, so that's the SCAR, please be a mag change. Neck damage multiplier increase from 1 to 1.5, upper torso damage multiplier increase from 1 to 1.2. We would like to avoid increasing the power level of a weapon to a point where we would need to reduce it shortly after the following balance overall. With that said, the Assault Rifle Golf may soon see a power increase in the near future, but we think an improvement to its average time to kill is a good place to start. For the Golf, you need a bigger mag. The recoil is a little strong, but you really just need a bigger mag. I think the top is like 40. It's like 30 or 40. It just doesn't do it. XM4, neck damage multiplier increase from 1 to 1.5. We consider increase in neck damage multipliers a small buff realistically, as they make landing headshots only slightly more likely. We feel the XM4 is close to being in a great spot, and we are aiming for this change to get it there. Hopefully this thing isn't overpowered as a close range weapon if you're good. It was already really good in the close range and a really good sniper support. Hopefully this doesn't make it overpowered, because that's a big increase to your head and neck shots. Handguns, AMP 63. Maximum damage increase from 30 to 33. Second damage range increase by 14.3%. Upper torso damage multiplier increase from 1 to 1.1. Extremities damage multipliers increase from 0.9 to 1. Head damage multiplier decrease from 1.4 to 1.3. So it looks like they're just trying to balance. I think the problem is it's only a 25 round mag, and if you're going to use an auto pistol, you might as well use the 80 round Psychov. The AMP 63 did not have its fastest time to kill improved by these changes. Rather, its TDK breakpoints were shifted around and its second damage rate was pushed out, a move we felt was necessary to help offset its limited magazine capacity and rate of fire. These changes should provide another compelling secondary weapon option alongside the Psychov to complement non-overkill loadouts. Still seems like the Psychov's best. I mean, the Psychov's got 80 rounds, and I just don't think you can make up for that with the AMP. Melee Ballistic Knife, projectile velocity increased by 25%. Neck damage multiplier increased from 1 to 1.3. Upper torso damage multiplier increased from 1 to 1.23. And move speed increased 1.3%. Who's running the Ballistic Knife unless you're just doing it for fun? Street Sweeper, maximum damage range decreased by 24%. Second damage range decreased by 18%. Third damage range decreased by 7%. And move speed decreased by 1%. Street Sweeper is one of the best short-range kill-death ratios of any weapon in Warzone. The issues with the right attachments, the lethal range can be stretched out further than we like. The Street Sweeper will still be very deadly, but will require you to be a few steps closer to maximize your effectiveness. Since this is an auto shotgun, I think this is a great change. So if you're running into a building or whatever, as soon as you get to that end hallway in those like long apartment buildings, the ones that used to be big red and they're like green now, you don't just like die instantly. They at least have to get in your face to kill you as quick as they did. Sniper Rifle Charlie, Black Ops Cold War, so the M82. Bullet velocity increased 7.7%. Upper torso damage increased 1.1 to 1.25. Lower torso damage multiplier increased from 1 to 1.5. I still don't think people are going to use it. It's slow and cloddy, but maybe this damage will make it better, and this bullet velocity will make it competitive bullet velocity, but I still don't think you're going to see it. In a previous patch, the Sniper Rifle Charlie underwent a change to its identity. Now it's a slower firing sniper rifle. We feel it is necessary to increase its damage and bullet velocity to compensate more adequately. We will be keeping a close eye on it to ensure it occupies this role successfully. Swiss K31 base optic functionality improved and base reticle updated. Be interesting to see what the reticle changes to. Hopefully they'll just let us change reticles soon on the default site, but I don't use it that much. I'm trying to level it up so I can, but so I don't really know what the functionality problem was. Submachine Guns Alpha Modern Warfare, so that's the AUG. Upper torso damage multiplier increased from 1 to 1.1. Maximum damage range increased by 10%. The Submachine Gun Alpha has a ludicrously fast time to kill when landing all headshots within its maximum damage range. However, outside of these two conditions, it performed far less reliably than its peers. While we do not expect this change to jettison the Submachine Gun Alpha to the top of SMG viability, we are positioning it to excel in our upcoming balance overhaul. Unless they change a lot with all the SMGs, I just don't see this being great. It's still slow ADS and everything, so we'll see. Bullfrog Iron Sights ADS position adjusted. These changes should allow for better ADS visibility without optics. That was the biggest problem with the Bullfrog. Is sometimes it was hard to see, especially if somebody drop shot it on you. So we'll see how this change affects the Bullfrog. Hopefully well. I love the Bullfrog. I think everyone that uses it does, except for like Exact. I don't know why he hates it, but I'm glad they did this. KSP, maximum damage range increased by 16.6%. Extremities multipliers increased by 0.9 to 1. The KSP has a fast time to kill potential, in so much that when considering how to increase its effectiveness, we were concerned not to push it too hard for fear of making it dominant. It is understandable why one would steer clear of a short to mid-range burst fire weapon, considering how low the margin of error is in that engagement range. However, with 2 well-placed bursts with a KSP 45, will put someone out of commission faster than you might expect. I'm going to try the KSP. I wanted a buff on it. I'm glad to see a buff on it. And I don't think this is going to quite bring it into viability, and it definitely won't be meta. I think you need to do a whole damage overhaul. Not a whole lot, like 1 to 1.1. Just like they did a 0.9 to 1 here. Just because it is burst, and there's so much less margin for error, like they say. Milano, maximum damage increased from 34 to 36. Minimum damage increased from 25 to 30. Maximum damage range increased by 23%. Upper torso damage multiplier increased from 1 to 1.2. Lower torso damage multiplier increased from 1 to 1.1. Extremities damage multipliers increased from 0.9 to 1. This was another SMG I really wanted them to buff. It's really easy to control, it's easy to use, and it was fun when it was ground loot. It's just a pea shooter, so hopefully the Milano's viable. I'm definitely going to try it out. The Milano needed a lot of love for it to reach a semi-viable state. We will see how it shapes up over the first half of Season 4 and make any necessary changes at that time. So they are 100% trying to make the Milano fully viable. I'm going to try it like immediately as soon as I can. Submachine Gun Echo Mono Warfare was the PP Bison. Maximum damage increased from 34 to 35. Extremity damage multipliers increased from 0.9 to 1. Much like its Cold War counterpart, the Submachine Gun Echo relies heavily on well-placed shots. These changes should make it a tad more forgiving. Who's going to use it over the Bullfrog? The Bullfrog, if there was an SMG meta, it's like the Bullfrog, the PPSH, or the LC-10 outside of the MP5. So people are still going to use the Bullfrog instead. Tactical rifles, DMR, recoil magnitude decrease. I was just trying to see if this gun could work after they fixed the optics, so maybe this will make it work now. Even after it's falling out, the DMR is still a respectable choice with the right attachments. A little bump to help stay on target at distance should help the DMR hold its own in the face of fierce mid to long range competition. I have a class for it already made, definitely going to try it now. Attachments, barrels, combat recon snipers, Pellington, bullet velocity increase from 42.5 to 47.5%. Sniper rifle Charlie, so that's the M82 again. It increases bullet velocity instead of 42.5%. It increases 50%. Swiss K31, it now increases it from 43 to 50. This will bring it a lot more in line with the car, so I'm definitely going to be trying to use it. I got to get it leveled up. Tundra, bullet velocity increased from 42.5 to 44. And ZRG, bullet velocity increased from 42.5 to 43. So the ZRG is still going to reign top for bullet velocity, and it'll be interesting to see if the Tundra now surpasses or is right around the SPR for bullet velocity, because the SPR is third and then the Tundra. The HDR is still second. These changes will bring the longest Cold War sniper barrels much closer to parity with Modern Warfare equivalents. The Ranger barrel for assault rifles now increases bullet velocity by 50%, increases vertical recoil control by 15%, and now increases hipfire spread by 20%. Takedown now increases effective damage range by 35%, horizontal recoil control by 15%, and hipfire spread by 20%. Reinforced heavy or match grade for the LMGs increases bullet velocity by 25%, effective damage range by 17.5%, horizontal recoil control by 7.5%, and vertical recoil control by 7.5%, and it decreases ADS move speed by 10%, sprint speed by 2.5%, ADS speed by 3%, hip spread by 25%. And the Task Force or Spetsnaz barrels, or Spetsnaz RPKM or CMV mil-spec for the light machine guns, it now increases bullet velocity by 50%, effective damage range by 35%, horizontal recoil control. Ooh, so now it's helping you control recoil instead of hurting you with recoil. Increases vertical recoil control and horizontal by 15%. It decreases ADS move speed by 20%, sprint speed by 5%, ADS speed by 6%, and hip spread by 30%. Recoil control has long been a detractor for the long-range viability of Cold War weapons, except I don't agree with for the Farah or the Krieg. These changes will help alleviate that and provide a more diverse selection of weapons in game space. Task Force barrel all the way now, from it sounds like it. Optics. Most Black Ops Cold War reticles have been updated. The 3x and the 4x position shifted again. Hopefully they're just renoting it, or it's just a really small tweak. I thought the optic positions for those were really good, and they just needed to fix the other sites like the 2x and all the magnifications above 4x. Underbarrel for bruiser grip for snipers. Aiming stability increased from 10 to 19%. That's huge because the sway was terrible on the Cold War snipers. Operators. Rook skin has received material updates to increase visibility. Please just be gray or reflective. New operators, Jackal, Warsaw Pack. Get access to Jackal for use in Black Ops Cold War and Warzone at Tier 0, and unlock Ultra Rarity Jackal Operator skin at Tier 100. Sala in season, it'll be part of bundles, and same thing with Weaver, part of bundles. Weaver's from the Zombies storyline, if you're not familiar. Downloads, the Warzone update size for PlayStation 5 and 4 will be 11. For Xbox One, Series X, Series S, and Xbox One, 11.2 gigabytes. And for PC, it'll be 12.3 gigabytes if you have Warzone, and 13.5 gigabytes if you have Warzone and Modern Warfare. Notes and reminders, additional space is needed for PC users, 27.1 to 28.2 gigabytes of additional space, which is only temporary. Black Ops Cold War download is not necessary if you're only playing Warzone and vice versa. Furthermore, for a smaller file size, players can choose to uninstall or remove other data packs if they're no longer needed. For regular updates about Cold War Warzone, follow us on Twitter. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I will have these patch notes linked down in the description for you to read yourself. But the update is launching in about an hour and a half as of the end of filming this video. By the time this video is uploaded, the patch will probably be out. So I will see you in Verdansk. Get frying. Have a good one. Bye.